Now, there's loads more about sketching, but for now I'm just going to click on Finish Sketch, and you can see it takes us back into the part file. We have here our sketch we've just drawn, and it's taking us back into this kind of 3D view. So everything you do and everything you bring in Inventor, it creates it in this box here as an item. And you'll see here we have Sketch 2. Okay, Sketch 2 is, yours might be called Sketch 1, it might be called, this has been automatically named by Inventor, okay, but it will be called Sketch something. If we click that, it highlights in blue to show us this is a part we're referring to. It highlights in green, and if you click it, it highlights in blue, okay. Now, you can double click that, and it will take you back into the sketch file, okay. Or you can right click it and go edit sketch. I usually do the right click edit sketch. So if I wanted to change this, just do that again. If I was back in the part file and I thought actually it wants to be 45mm, then I can just click on that, right click, edit sketch, and I can double click these dimensions, and I can type in 45 and you'll see that has moved, okay? So I'll change it back to 50. So parametric design, that's what this term parametric means. It means you can change dimensions just by typing them in. This line now is fixed to this dimension. Something like AutoCAD, it has changed in recent versions to a parametric style, but traditionally a dimension is just a piece of text. It's not actually driven by the line, and the line isn't driven by a dimension. It's just something you put as a piece of text, and it doesn't even need, you can change it so it could say anything, you know. In Inventor, the length of the line is driven by the dimension, and whatever you type in there will change the size. Okay, and this is something which drives the whole software. Okay, so I'm going to finish that. So we have our sketch here in the left hand side. I'm now going to click on extrude, so you can follow along here. And what extrude does, as you can probably see, it takes a sketch and it turns it into 3D. Think of extruding out something like you used to with the Play-Doh, where it extruded a shape of Play-Doh through a certain stencil. That's extrude. You use it like you would extrude aluminium extrusions or rubber extrusions, that kind of thing. It takes a sketched 2D shape and it brings it out into 3D. Now the software is really good, Inventor's really good at guessing what it thinks you want to do. Okay, so to extrude you need a sketch. We've only got one sketch in our file, the sketch we created, so it's guessed this rectangle. If you had a few sketches, you would have to select the right one. If it's selected the wrong one, you can click this cross here and it will ask you select profiles. Okay, the profile, it means what shape do you want to extrude, and it's looking for a sketch. So if you go over your sketch in the drawing, okay, go over your profile, it will highlight it, and you see it's filled it in green. Now it has to be a closed line, so obviously you couldn't, if you just drew one line or one of these sides was missing, it wouldn't want to extrude it because it's not, it needs to be a closed shape. Okay, so you can see it's highlighted in green, and you left click it, and then it's guessing 10mm. You're probably not going to want it 10mm. That's just for default in Inventor, so you can easily see what it's doing. Okay, so we want 50mm. Click inside this box, type in 50, and there we go. So this now will extrude it 50mm. But what if when we drew this plane, this was actually the top of the cube? Well, it wouldn't really be good practice, but let's just say we wanted to extrude it in the other direction. We can click that there, okay? if, as we should, this plane was actually in the center, we could click that box there, and that would, it's still extruding it 50 millimeters, but it's doing it by 25 millimeters either side of the plane. Okay, that's actually the correct way to do it. I'll show you that. I'll show you why in a minute. Or we could have, again, using the plane but non-symmetrical. In this case it would ask for 2 dimensions, so maybe we wanted it 10 mil one side of the plane and 40 mil the other side. Okay, again it's still extruding at 50 millimeters, but it's going up 10 millimeters and down 40. So that's your options here. Okay, for now let's just stick to that one, 50 millimeters. And don't worry about the other commands yet. I'm going to OK that, and there we have a cube. Okay, it's a 50 by 50 by 50 cube, and if we hold down Shift and the middle wheel, we can move all around and we can see our cube. Okay, so that's it. That's your first part file. You've drawn a 50 millimeter by 50 millimeter cube. Easy, yeah. Some of it may have seemed a bit difficult when we were talking about the planes, but that will all make sense later on. You'll be whizzing through this. This will be, you'll just get it by using the software, which is what we're going to do over this course. The best way of learning is just to use it. If anything isn't clear, and I don't expect everything to be clear, just bear with us. It will become clear as you use it. Okay? If you sat there scratch your head thinking, "Oh, I've lost it already," please. I am moving a bit fast through these basics, and they will just make sense as you start doing it. Okay. So next, I just want a quick word about these planes and why someone experienced in Inventor would be pulling their hair out looking at this now. Okay, I'm just going to go over that in the next chapter. I'll see you then.